Gauntlets and a Screaming Match by Megansabode. Read by Kai the Clown. Summary. Katsuki's gauntlets keep falling apart. Izuku is on the tail end of his wrath. Mei can't wait to yell at Katsuki and prove him wrong. They're all chaotic as shit. Small fic in which Izuku is in the support course, Mei is his best friend, and Katsuki is constantly pissed off. This fic is almost 1,500 words, so let's get into it. The day that Izuku stops getting harassed by Bakugo Katsuki for new gauntlets is the day that he can rest easy. Thankfully, his classmate, Hatsume Mei, is nicer to him. "Lunch break!" she yells into the room, pushing her head through the gap between the door frame and the door. "Come on, Izuku, you need energy to make gauntlets all day," she told him. Hold on, he said. From the sound of his own voice, he guessed that he was sticking his tongue out as he tightened the metal in Katsuki's gauntlets. They kept on falling apart. A product of older metal parts, since the newest shipment hadn't arrived at the time, and Katsuki acted like that was Izuku's fault. She groaned. "I say every day you need energy to create a masterpiece, and not from energy drinks." She walked in and grabbed Izuku's empty cans, then chucked them in the bin. "Out! You tell me this every day, Hatsume, and you never get it through to your fake skull." She practically pulled Izuku up by the back of his shirt and pulled him out of the room. "And I told you to call me Mei." Izuku rolled his eyes. Mei sometimes acted like a complete mother to him, almost babying him, or she just yelled at him until he got off his ass and went to the lunch hall. He let her though. He was hungry, and Power Loader never let him eat or drink in the workshop. Izuku did drink in the workshop, but that was as far as he went. He didn't want to be expelled, as Power Loader had threatened before. Mei dragged him down to the lunch hall, and they stood in the line for 10 minutes until they got their food. There weren't many people in the support course, specifically in first year, so they sat at an outlying table together. As Izuku looked around the hall while eating his lunch, he noticed that Katsuki was staring at him. Of course, Izuku thought. "I'm going to be yelled at in 3, 2... Deku!" Katsuki yelled. "What the hell are you doing? I need my gauntlets ready by last period." Izura tried to hold Katsuki back, but failed as Katsuki stormed over to Izuku. "The hell?" Mei rolled her eyes. "He's eating, you know, that things that humans have to do." Izuku almost spat out his food in shock. Mei is standing up to catch on. "I really hope Mina takes the video," he thought. Katsuki groaned. "I need my gauntlets ready." He was whining like a little child, and Izuku was ready to dig a hole and bury himself in it alive if Katsuki kept this up. "And you can have your precious little gauntlets ready after Izuku gets some energy. Now, beat it." Katsuki rolled his eyes and walked away, still in the middle of his little tantrum, mumbling about how Mei was ruining his day. Mei sighed and turned to Izuku. "He pisses me off." "I could tell," Izuku said. Mei grinned, and Izuku finished his food. Seeing that Mei wasn't done yet, he sat and waited for her to finish. Once she was finished, they got up and put away their trays, then went back to the workshop. It wasn't too far away from the lunch hall, which Izuku was grateful for he was ready to get back to those gauntlets and not get yelled at by Katsuki again. He cracked open another energy drink, much to Mei's annoyance, once he sat down and screwed bolts into the metal of Katsuki's gauntlets to hold them together. Sometimes, Katsuki would sit on the floor of the workshop and tighten his gauntlets himself, while making small talk with Izuku. Mei would pull a face whenever Katsuki was in the workshop, but she didn't seem to mind if he was actually talking to Izuku. She was always telling Izuku to get out and talk to other people instead of just her. But Izuku liked speaking to Mei. She would ramble while he tinkered at something for students, and he will ramble while she tinkered at something for students. It was the way they worked. And May was great at gossip. Izuku wasn't well versed in the world of gossip, so all he spoke about to May was heroes and their quirks, and what he thought their perfect support items would be. Something to hold back Eraser's hair indefinitely, proper gloves for All Might with metal built into the knuckles so that his punches would be even more powerful, and even some padding for Miroku's costume at her feet to make her jumps and leaps silent. May would put in her own input, and the two of them would even sketch and draft designs, just to eat for themselves, of course. You know how that Kaminari has a crush on Jiro? Izuku shook his head as he worked on Katsuki's gauntlets. May gasped, "Oh my god, you have to hear about this." So at first, I personally thought that Yaoyorozu and Jiro would be a perfect match. I mean, look at the way they look at each other. And Kaminari is too involved with that purple wart. Izuku laughed at the way she referred to Mineta. She laughed too. But apparently he has a huge crush on Jiro, and honestly, I can see those two being together. I mean, they're both always laughing when they're around each other. She's grumpy, and he's like the sunshine of that part of their relationship. They're perfect. Then she sighed. But I still think Jiro and Yaoyorozu are a great pair. I can't choose. Izuku chuckled. Can you seriously not choose who you should ship one of the members of Class 1A with? I seriously can't, she exclaimed. Maybe I should just go what they do in fandoms. Multi-shipping, is it? When they ship the same person in different relationships. I just think you shouldn't be so obsessed with people who love lives. They aren't even our classmates. She sighed again and rolled her eyes. You just don't get it, Izuku. You just don't get it. May shook her head like a disappointed mother. I fear I don't get anything when it comes to all of this. She laughed and stopped sitting on his desk. Do you have anything you need to do? Yeah, she groaned. Stupid support items for Ida. His ones are so difficult to build. They're really annoying and they just always fall apart. I need to get powers to push for the extra funding even more. Izuku nodded and got up. He just needed a few more materials. Deku, if my gauntlets aren't finished right fucking now, are you not finished? Katsuki yelled. Seriously, you have all day. I'm almost done, Izuku reassured him. Hold on, Kachan. Hold on? I can't Katsuki almost screamed. I can't hold on. I need them in under 10 minutes. Damn, Deku! Izuku rolled his eyes. Don't you dare roll your eyes at me, Katsuki shouted. You said they'd be done by last period. And they will be. It's not last period yet. Calm down, Kachan. Izuku sat back with a box of more materials and started to tighten the gauntlets more. Before he repainted the green, which had gotten scratched off as he worked on it, Katsuki groaned, but sat down in the chair next to Izuku. Izuku could hear May scoff at the back of the room, and the thought brought a bright smile onto his face. Within 8 minutes, the gauntlets were done, and Katsuki put them on, pulling at them to make sure they were tight enough. Don't do that to the hard, May warned. He won't have any gauntlets for next period. She earned a glare for a comment, and Izuku chuckled. Ha ha, Katsuki said, glaring at Izuku. Are they all done now? Izuku nodded. All done. Good luck with battle training. Whatever. For Katsuki, that was the equivalent to a thank you. May sighed from the back of the room, and Izuku crossed it to see what she was doing. Sketching. I, luckily, have a nicer client than you, she said. Izuku grinned. But with a better client comes a much more difficult concept for the support items. He leaned his head over her shoulder. All right, we can work out together. Lifesaver, Izuku. lifesaver. He laughed and sat down next to her, and they spent the rest of the school day working on Edith's concept for his engine support items. The next morning, Izuku walked in to May and Katsuki arguing. His gauntlets had broken. Again. Great. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoyed. I absolutely love Support Course Izuku, and I obviously love Megansabode. So this is just perfect. I love fics when like Katsuki gauntlets always break and Izuku fix them. They're perfect. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and bye bye!